everyone, today I am going to tell you how to pay for college out of pocket. And this is so important because right now student loans are just crushing our nation. There are so many student loans. People get out of school and it's like they can never get ahead because they're constantly paying student loans, and it is one of the only debts that's almost impossible to get rid of. So today I want to give you 10 tips on how to pay for college out of pocket. So let's get started. Hey everyone, this is Lauren Mack with Hacking the Rat Race, and I would love for you to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos on money, saving, and investing. So like I said, today I'm going to tell you how to pay for college out of pocket, and I'm going to give you 10 tips. So let's start with number one. Number one is probably the most well-known, but still the most important, which is applying for scholarships and grants. Again, so many people overlook this because they don't think there's a lot out there, or maybe they don't want to put in the effort up front. But let me tell you, every year, so many scholarships go unused. This is free money. And yes, you're going to have to do your due diligence, look them up, and do whatever they require in order to apply for them. However, this can be a great way to pay for college, so I highly recommend applying for scholarships and grants. Number two is going to be avoid going to expensive schools. This is so important because oftentimes the difference in education between the expensive school and a less expensive school is almost nothing. And again, even going to technical schools can be very expensive versus going to a community college. However, here's the thing. There are a few examples, maybe 1% to 2%, where maybe going to a more expensive school might be worth it, but literally 1% or 2%. Really think about it. Is it really worth it? And also, I have another video called How to Get a Bachelor's Degree in 2 years for only $13,500. I will link to it above and the show notes below. Again, if you want to get a great degree, super fast, super cheap, which obviously that's going to be so affordable and much easier to pay for out of pocket, I recommend you check that video out. Tip number three is going to be work full-time for 2 years, save up, and then go to college. Here's the thing. There's two reasons I think this is a great idea. Is one, you can save up the money so you're not having to get student loans and pay interest forever. But number two, oftentimes when people get out of high school and they just go to college when they're 18, they don't know what they want to do in life. They don't even know what the options are. I would argue this is most people. Most 18-year-olds I've worked with and spoken to, you ask them, what do you want to do? They vaguely even know what major they want. So if you go out in the real world, try to get an entry-level job in kind of whatever field you're thinking, then you can see. Because I can tell you, I almost went to law school, and I'm so glad that I decided to get my master's degree first and go start arbitrating cases for the Better Business Bureau. This made a huge difference. Why? Because I didn't spend the money and the time in law school to find out that, yeah, I think I would have loved law school, but it wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be like. So again, getting this experience can make you realize what you want to do, what you don't want to do, and can also help you save up money. So I definitely recommend this as an option. Tip number four is going to be work at a company that offers tuition reimbursement. This is more and more common these days, and I think this is a great benefit that a lot of people often overlook. In fact, maybe when you're looking at companies to apply for while in school, or you're kind of looking at what you want to get into, maybe just research companies that offer this benefit and take full advantage of it. Tip number five is work part-time during the school year and full-time during the summer. Just work overtime, full-time in the summer, don't take classes, and then just work part-time and just pay for school through working. So just pay as you go, but then just take a heavy load of work in the summer, take that time off from school, and then while you're in school, cut your hours way back and focus on getting school done, but also be able to use this as a method to save up and pay cash. Tip number six is going to be take extra classes. Take a full load, and even in the summer, take extra classes. And here's the thing, it may not cut down on the cost so much, but if you're taking extra classes, then you can graduate early, so it's going to take less time to have to fund that amount. If you take extra classes, it will be a much shorter time that you're having to fund school versus stretching it out over a long period of time. So if you have cash, maybe some extra cash, then I recommend taking heavy loads all the way through during the year, during the summer, which would mean more classes than full time. And trust me, it can be done. When I was in school towards the end, I was just ready to be done. And I work better when I just have way too much to do than when I have a lot of time on my hands. So I was taking 18 to 21 hours per semester. And I was just crushing through the coursework. And yes, it is a lot more work and it is a little bit more stressful, which I personally like, but this is definitely an option. Tip number 7 would be the flip side of this, and that would mean going to school part-time, maybe just taking 1 or 2 classes, and instead of finishing in 4.5 years, maybe it takes 6 or 7 years, but you're only taking a couple classes, so you could work more, you could take less classes, so it would reduce the overall cost as you're paying as you go. So the last tip was have a really heavy load. This one would be take a longer time, but take a much smaller class load, such as part-time or even just 1 or 2 classes and just go throughout the year, but then you can just pay for it little by little. Tip number 8 is always apply for FAFSA, and this is what you use to get financial aid. But in addition to financial aid like loans, this is where you can find out if you qualify for grants and also a work-study program. And I highly recommend, if you can and you qualify for it, that doing a work-study program would be a huge benefit. Basically, for the money that you qualify for, you would work on campus, so they would give you a job and then they would pay you to work, and this money would be going towards your education. So I definitely always apply for FAFSA, but seriously consider using the work-study program if you qualify for it. This is a great way to reduce your tuition costs to make it much more affordable so you can pay for it out of pocket. Number 9 is starting a side hustle. And I have another video called 30 Unique Side Hustles When You Desperately Need It. I'll link to it above in the show notes below, but this can be a great way to make extra money. So maybe you have a job and you have a set amount of hours, but you just need a little bit more money to pay for college out of pocket and not have student loans. Literally, some of these side hustle ideas, you can start making money tomorrow. Or maybe you have your own idea. There are so many ways, but considering starting a side hustle, and you never know if you can hustle and grow it enough, maybe you don't have to do your part-time job and it can fully pay for you to go to college out of pocket. And number 10 is going to be don't live on campus. A lot of times, if you go to a big 4-year university, the first year they require you to live in a dorm on campus. This can be so expensive. So what I recommend is going to a community college for 1 or 2 years. It is way cheaper, way cheaper. It gets you past that deadline of having to live in a dorm, which is super expensive. Then when you transfer to that 4-year university, you can live off campus, so you can control your budget and you can live in a much cheaper accommodation. And a bonus, if your parents will let you stay with them and they live in the town where you want to go to school, then I highly recommend living with your parents. Even if it doesn't seem cool, that can save so much money, and that money saved can go to paying for college out of pocket. So definitely try to avoid living on campus if at all possible. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button. It literally costs nothing and it does so much for this channel, and it pushes this video out to other people who are trying to figure out how to pay for college out of pocket. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos on money, saving, and investing. And again, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.